Hello guys, Antoine here for Simarchitecture and welcome back to the channel after quite a long time I have to say, but honestly I've been really busy with the university and I still am, and I was also busy at work, and when I came back home I really had no power to turn on my computer again because I spent the whole day on the computer. So that's why I've been away for quite a long time, but I'm finally back with a build, and it's quite a big build I have to say, at least the most expensive one I've ever built. It is worth almost 3 million simoleons, but this all due to the items made by Felix that I used, and they're actually really expensive in game, so that's why this build is so expensive. As you read in the title, we are building today Schloss Linderhof, which is a German palace, as you probably understood by reading the name of this palace. I guess that most of you, or maybe not actually, some of you probably heard about a king, the king of Bavaria, who is called, Ludwig II. He's really famous for his palace called Neuschwanstein, which is kind of a fairy tale castle built in the middle of the German Alps. This is one of the most famous and recognizable palaces ever built in the world, along with Versailles and such places. But Ludwig also built some other palaces. Actually, he built 3 palaces. So there's Neuschwanstein, which I just told you about. Then there is Linderhof, which are building today, which is also located in the Bavarian Alps in Germany. It was designed as a small summer palace, which is mostly built for decorative goals. It's not really a place where you could live, it's just a decorative place with beautiful interiors, fantastic gardens, and there are also in the garden some pavilions, beautiful vista on the mountains. It's really, it doesn't even look real when you're there. It's really an incredible place, but I will tell you more about it after that. And then there's also a third palace, which is, according to me, the craziest palace probably ever built in Germany or in whole Europe. Actually, Ludwig was a big fan of Versailles and of Louis XIV, the French king. And he was born in the 19th century, and this palace, Linderhof, was built in the second half of the 19th century, just as the other palace I'm just going to tell you about. So this palace is called Ehrenchiemsee, and it is located on an island in the middle of a lake in the Bavarian Alps still. And this palace is actually a copy of the Palace of Versailles in France. I mean, the King Ludwig was so fan of Versailles that it was like, why not building my own Versailles in my own country? So of course it's not 100% accurate. It has this some German neo-rococo touch that is really yeah, that you can feel in Ludwig's castles, but actually it is quite amazing. I mean, someone just decided to rebuild Versailles on an island surrounded by water, the mountains. It sounds crazy. And this palace, Ehrenchiemsee, is not as big as Versailles because only the main part of the palace was built, the middle part of it. But still, there is the king's bedroom, which is much bigger than the actual one. There are a few drawing rooms, and of course there's the Hall of Mirrors. And the Hall of Mirrors from Ehrenchiemsee is even longer than the real one, and the decoration is even heavier with much more details, so it's quite crazy. And this is something that is still standing today, so you can visit it. And I think if you're not a big connoisseur of palaces like I am, for example, you would be tricked. And if I show you 2 pictures, I think you would be in trouble guessing which one is Versailles and which one is the copy. So now I think we can go back to Linderhof, which I told you was built as a summer residence. So as I told you, it's not really a real path where you can live. Or actually, you can live there, but you know, King Ludwig was, well, it was kind of special, I have to say. He had some mental issues. People now think that he was actually autist, or he had a form of autism. He was absolutely fascinated by architecture, by French monarchy, as I told you, by Versailles, by Wagner. He was a big patron of Wagner, the musician. He was really actually living in his own world, and he wanted to build a world that was matching his dreams. So that's why I think this king is so fascinating. He actually built his dreams, so this is quite crazy when you think about it. But at the same time, the Bavarian kingdom went for bankruptcy because of his crazy castles. But actually I'm quite thankful he built them, because now we can visit those incredible places. And to think it was built by a man that would just, who wanted just to live in his dreams. It's quite crazy, and it gives me a lot of inspiration for my build, but also as an architecture lover and as a palace lover. This is quite crazy when you think about it. So yeah, Linderhof is, as told, typical for German neo-rococo style. So I don't know if you've ever been to Germany, or if you've ever visited German churches, for example. There are churches from the 19th century which are decorated with this neo-rococo style. It's actually quite overwhelming. You enter in these churches and there are painting ceilings everywhere, gold details. You don't really know where to look at, and that's what happens in Linderhof, I would say. The decorator in this palace really pushed it. And they took some details and put them everywhere, which gives a fantastic interior. It doesn't even look real. I mean, there's so much to look at. Of course, I cannot do it in The Sims because we don't have vaulted ceilings, we don't have painting ceilings, we don't have all these details that we can put everywhere, just like in the real place. But I really tried to create the atmosphere you can feel in this palace. And of course, due to the technical issue with The Sims 4, the palace is not 100% accurate, especially the floor plans. I tried to make it accurate, but there are some rooms that were impossible to create because of the shapes. So this is a free interpretation of Linderhof. So the only rooms that I really tried to build with an accurate view is the Spiegelsaal, which is the mirror rooms, which is probably one of the most opulent room of the past. There are mirrors everywhere, lighting everywhere, fantastic chandeliers with hundreds of candles. I also tried, and I did my best for this room, the Audienzimmer, which is more or less the audience room. This is where the king was receiving some guests or people asking for something. And actually the king was quite lonely, so it didn't see much people, so it was in this room. Actually, he used this room as a study room most of the time. And there's also the dining room, which I made quite accurate, but also, of course, with less details, as I told you. And then the king's bedroom is, yes, a free interpretation. It's not accurate because I didn't have the same elements, so I didn't want to try to recreate something I was not sure about it, so I went for a free interpretation of the king's bedroom. But still, this is my favorite room of the palace. It's really beautiful. I mean, I'm not throwing flowers on myself, but I really love this room. Also, there are sitting rooms everywhere in this palace. Small sitting rooms with different colors, different atmospheres. Actually, in the actual palace, there are 4 cabinets. So cabinets are more in less sitting areas or small drawing rooms. There are 4 of them. There's a blue one, a lila one, a pink one, and a green or blue one. I don't remember. I'm sorry. So I couldn't build them as they are in real life, so I just built different sitting rooms with different colors. So it's not accurate at all, but I just wanted to get inspired by the concept of building several cabinets with different colors. And also, if you go downstairs, there is the entrance hall, which is not really like the real one because I couldn't build it like in real life. But still, I like it. And there's some rooms downstairs that I built, and I have actually no idea how the rooms downstairs look like. I think those are more like technical rooms. But still, I decided to build a summer dining room, all made of marble and white furniture, black and white furniture. This room doesn't exist in the real palace, but you know, it's a sim, so you can do whatever you want, so that's what I did. Attached to this small summer dining room, there is also a it's a small sitting room with fireplaces, beautiful decoration. It's quite useless actually, like most of the rooms in this palace. It's just for the beauty of these rooms. And there's also a big kitchen, which I tried to make it look like a really old castle kitchen, but I'm not so sure about it. It's not my favorite room. Actually, I'm not really talented for kitchens, so yes, excuse me. Yes, and that's it about the first floor, which is actually not the main floor. And I also built, there's kind of a secret staircase that leads to the attics. I have no idea how it looks like in real life, but I think I wanted to build like more intimate rooms because there's this big king's bedchamber, but I think in winter it could be really cold. So I decided to build smaller rooms upstairs on the fourth floor. So there's the king's, let's say, informal bedroom, which is way smaller, more intimate. Attached to this, there's a bathroom. There is also a small sitting room, and then there's a gallery leading to the library. And there are also some rooms for the servants, so bedroom for the servant. You will see an example of a servant bedroom in the screenshots. There's also a few other bathrooms, and that's it. Actually, this place is really playable. You can live in it. There's everything you need. There's bathroom, kitchen, bedrooms. Actually, there's only one big bedchamber, but I mean, it's so big that I wouldn't even dare sleeping in it. I wouldn't feel comfortable surrounded by all of this beauty. I think I couldn't be able to fall asleep because I would stare at all the details in this room and I wouldn't be able to sleep. Yes. You probably also noticed it. I put some paintings everywhere. I tried to keep in mind that Ludwig was solely fascinated by French monarchy, so there are many paintings of Louis XIV, Louis XVI, also Louis XV. There are also some paintings of Marie Antoinette or other French queens, and also some unknown, aristocracy people who I don't know, but those are beautiful paintings. Actually, I put many paintings in this palace, which I think is one of the reasons why it's worth more than 3 million simoleons, which is really huge when you think about it. Well, yes, it's worth it. I mean, if you want to build something great, you have to put details everywhere. And I don't know if you've ever played with Felix Hender's custom content, but everything is so expensive in the game, which is normal actually, because those are palace items, and palaces are not meant to be cheap. So yes. Anyway, I really had a great time building this. It took me quite a long time, I would say 2 weeks, because I was not building every day. Sometimes I was just building one room and then I quitted the game. So yes, it took me quite a long time, but I'm so happy with the way it went. It's really, well, actually when I started it I was not sure I could make it, because the decor is so intricate. Even the exterior is not really easy to build. I really struggle with the roofing and you know, all these decorative elements on the outside, especially the main facade with all the statues. But then you know, while you're building it, you're getting more and more inspiration, and then it just, you know, it goes by itself. It's so easy. And I really had a lot of fun building this. And yes, I only wish, as I always said, I only wish that the lot would be larger. I know I'm building on a 64 by 64, which is the largest lot, and I think we will never get larger lots in the Sims 4, maybe in the Sims 5, but honestly I'm not even sure they will be releasing a Sims 5, sorry. So anyway, I really wish we had bigger lot to build proper gardens, because when you're building a palace, the whole palace fits on the lot, but then you don't have room for the garden. So that's why you will see it in the screenshots. I didn't record it, but I did some landscaping, which isn't really elaborate, but still beautiful, I think, and it matched the palace. So I did some what we call parterres. Those are those flower ornaments with statues and so on. So I actually copy and paste the same one everywhere around the palace, but I like the way it looks. And also I built some fountains. And yes, that's it about the garden. Actually, there's not much to say about it. So yes, I think I told you pretty much everything about this place. I really encourage you to get more information about Ludwig if you'd like to, because this is really an interesting person, and what he did during his reign is really interesting, especially in terms of architecture. There is an organization which takes care of all the palaces from Bavaria in Germany. It's called Bayerische Schlösserverwaltung. So if you're not speaking German, it can sound complicated. Actually, they're taking care of more than 30 palaces, and among them there are those Ludwig palaces. So now I think it's time to leave you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.